Welcome to what? It's this week.
Oh, I want to try.
Go for it.
Welcome to No Instructions. I'm Josh.
You got to do a little deeper if you're gonna do that kind of voice.
Well, I can try a little bit higher though.
Welcome to No Instructions.
I don't want to be scary sounding.
It's not scary. It's sultry. Welcome to No Instructions. I'm Bob,
And I'm Josh.
and yours was perfectly fine. We can use yours if you want.
I don't care one way or the other. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're back. Is this the second time we've recorded this week?
Yeah, because we had to do a hurry up
Yeah.
last week.
Yep.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yep. Brandon's awesome.
Yep.
And this one, I don't know when it'll go out because Christmas. But we're going to record anyway so we can play with some Legos.
Yeah.
What you working on?
I am putting literally the actual last pieces on the Scout Trooper and the speeder bike. And then I'm going to start on this box that you just handed me.
I did.
My Christmas present. I'm going to show it up for all the people. This is the Lego Technic, because Bob knows me well. The Lego Technic forklift. But you get to make a little Lego pallet
That's pretty funny.
and some danger cargo. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm pretty excited about that. So,
Danger Goo.
Scout Trooper speeder bike. This thing is cool. It's time to move on to something else. What are you working on?
I am still working on the 3 number 1 bags. Bag
The
number
several
ones
number ones.
of the Aston Martin. The James Bond Aston Martin. And realized, as soon as we stopped recording last week, we were like, oh, we didn't talk about James Bond.
Nope. We did.
So we could... Oh, they're stomping above us. This is going to be a loud one. We got extra kids here today. Yeah, so we didn't. So we can talk about James Bond if we want. We also have some pros and cons.
We got a bunch of pros and cons.
I have a movie that I think maybe you've never seen, and if you have seen, then we need to talk about it.
We got a movie that we're going to see tonight
We can
that
talk
you
about
haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of stuff to talk
I
about.
know.
Let's start with that. Tonight, we're going to go see Die Hard.
Die Hard.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Die Hard. And if I have seen it all the way through, which is a possibility that I haven't, but if I have, it was probably on TV.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I don't remember, honestly.
Well,
It's been...
To prepare your good sensibilities, there is no Mr. Falcons. There's no Cheesem crepes.
What?
There's bad words in this movie.
Well, I don't know about it then.
Yeah, there are people that say lots of naughty words, and people that get shot, and people that walk around on glass.
Well, I know about all that stuff.
Okay.
I am looking forward to it, though. I mean, it'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
Get in the Christmas spirit.
But you got to pay attention straight out of the gate, and this is where the fist on your toes things we talked about.
Okay, yeah. So I told you this earlier, but I'll tell everybody else. Last night was one of my kids' birthdays, so he wanted to go to a movie. So he wanted to go. We were going to go see the Spider-Verse. I was super excited about that. That's awesome.
This is cool.
That's super cool.
Scout Trooper's done.
Scout Trooper.
Oh, and it's like a gun,
Speeder
so I'm
bike.
going to try to shoot which camera? The big one or the little one?
Shoot the
Let's
big
try
one.
to shoot
See
the
if you
big
can.
camera. Let me see.
Can you get it?
Pew!
Oh!
First try.
It like blurred the camera.
Man,
That's pretty awesome.
that's as accurate as a stormtrooper has ever been.
Yep. Yep. Anyway, so he wanted to go to a movie. We were going to see Spider-Verse. I was excited. And then he changed to go see The Grinch.
Which your kids were not happy about.
Yeah, they all thought about it. It's his birthday, whatever, he gets
Right.
to pick. But, so we went to dinner. Had some Mexican. I got nice and full. And then the movie was at 7:25, which is about the time of night where my body starts to go, hey, remember how old you are? You should go to sleep. and then like 30, 40 minutes later, after I sit still for a minute, or I don't sit still, I wake back up and I'm like, good until midnight. But there's that time. If I sit down between 7 and 8 o'clock, I'm probably out. And so they want to go to this movie. We go to the new movie theater we got. It's got recliners.
It's got the big seats.
Big squishy seats. And the only seats we could get were on the second row.
Oh, so you had to prop up and back
to see it. And
there
it was
no
still
chance
blurry.
that was happening.
I sat down and I made it maybe 3 minutes into the movie. Maybe. Out. totally gone. And I woke up at the credits. I'm not exaggerating. Like, I missed the entire thing, which is fine. I don't care, but
That's happened a few times.
that doesn't happen to me usually. Like,
That happens to me frequently, especially if I go watch a movie with the kids. And
Something you're
Deacon
not
is
really
like,
into.
Deacon's like, Dad, are you gonna fall asleep? I'm like, well, buddy, you need to prepare yourself for that very occurrence. The Angry Birds movie. I went with my sister and I went with Deacon, and the same thing. We got there late, had to sit in the front. I'm like, oh, this.
yeah, you're out.
You can go ahead and just get upset with me now. Go get some candy as a consolation, because I'm not making it through this one.
Yeah. So they liked it. They said it was good. I missed it entirely.
My kids liked it. These bags are not numbered. That's all right. It's gonna
At
be
all?
loud. Nope.
Ooh,
So your set stole all the numbers.
like, apparently. It had a misprint.
Everybody's bag won.
Huh. Well, that's weird. All right. Yeah, so tonight we're going to go see Die Hard, and I hope that I can stay awake. I should be able to stay awake. I think it'll be a different situation entirely.
That theater is not very comfortable. There's lots of guns and explosions.
In the theater? Just kidding.
I doubt they have surround sound, and it's a square screen, so the aspect ratio is not the same as it is on a nice big movie screen.
Oh, really? It's
Yeah.
like a 4x3 screen?
I don't know. It's square, whatever
Like
that
the
means.
old school TV?
Yeah,
Yeah. Huh.
because we watched Home Alone 2 there last week, and you
Interesting.
can see the Blu-ray. Before it starts, a little Blu-ray little thingy that bounces around the screen is there.
That's how they're playing the
Yeah.
movies? Oh, wow. That's kind of cheap.
Which makes me think that we can
We
just sponsor a movie. We could pick the one movie that we've talked about, like, have you seen it, have I seen it, or ask for submissions to go, like, have a movie that people can find that legitimately neither of us have seen, and we'll sponsor
Wow.
a showing of that probably terrible movie.
Huh.
Or we can do a Birdemic, showing a Birdemic,
Ooh.
sponsored by I Like to Make Stuff.
That's a way to drive people off right there. And you still haven't seen it yet, right?
I saw the YouTube, the highlights, like the best of Birdemic on YouTube. Oh,
It is terrible. It is completely terrible. You know what? I did something wrong here, I think. Or I did something wrong. This whole side is off.
that was loud.
There should
Sorry.
be 4. No, I'm confused. Well,
Is this this isn't a current set, is it? Yeah, it says 2018.
yeah. Yep.
I'm surprised.
So the movie that I was thinking about, how is this wrong? I'm super confused here.
Did you look in bag 1, subpart A,
No, maybe that was the problem.
appendix D?
It's so weird. All right, go ahead and dump your bag. So
I gotta dump this. Such a good sound. And this show should come out on Christmas Day, so hopefully there are many people listening that will get to dump their own Legos.
that would be cool.
Could just build the Legos right along. Ooh, what's that? Right along with us. Look at this thing.
Ooh,
That's special.
is that the shaft for the for the?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's been a long week. I was gonna say day, and then I changed it at the last minute to say week. Month
Been
would
hard
have
of
worked.
making words.
Month would have worked as well. Yeah, it's been it's been long, and so I'm having trouble with words. Yeah. So movie, we're gonna go see that one. The movie I thought of. Have you ever
That
seen?
I haven't seen.
Yes, you may
Allegedly.
have. Ice Pirates.
No. First off, it's got pirates in it, so I'm
Yep.
already turned off. Ice pirates? No.
Ice Pirates. It's in space.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I was thinking minor league hockey team turned bank robbers.
Oh no.
Turned to the high seas.
This is I'm not even really sure how to describe Ice Pirates.
I think Ice Pirates seems pretty self-explanatory, so if it goes anywhere away from ice or pirates.
It is absolutely about pirates trying to steal ice in space.
Oh, I didn't figure that.
Ice is the commodity.
Right.
So it's
They're pillaging the ice.
Yeah.
Got
and
it.
Robert Ulrich Is that his name? I could be wrong. He was like an 80s sitcom star type guy. He is the main dude.
He's the captain?
The main pirate. Yeah, he may be a I don't really remember any of the details. It's so bad.
Ice Pirates.
So bad. And one time, because I watched it growing up a few times, and I had this friend named Brad, who I'm sure is not listening, but Brad, if you're listening,
Hey, Brad!
He's in New York. He's a film guy.
New York?
And he was just always, like, we would talk about movies all the time. He knew so much about movies. And I mentioned Ice Pirates one time. And at some point after that, I believe he gave me Ice Pirates on VHS. Because that's about as far as you can get it. Like, I don't think it's on DVD. So then I made Jenny watch Ice Pirates with me one time. And she's super patient and will watch anything, and just, like, go along with it. And she rolled her eyes the entire time. It's so bad. But it's about these pirates who go around trying to take ice from people in space because water is the thing that nobody has. Which I guess makes sense. They should remake Ice Pirates.
So it's like the opposite of Waterworld.
Kind of, yeah.
Because Waterworld were dry pirates.
Huh. Never really thought of it that way.
I bet that's what the director
he was like,
of Waterworld watched Ice Pirates.
Like, we're going to do the opposite movie.
Like,
Huh. Could be.
Most expensive movie ever made of all time. Just do the opposite of a really crappy movie. It's the perfect equation. Terrible movie.
Yeah.
What if you do the opposite, it'll be best movie. Shebang.
Huh.
So, the opposite of Birdemic
is
instead of the birds exploding the people.
People explode to kill birds. To save birds.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now we're on to something.
Yeah.
Here.
There's a screenplay happening right now.
Yep. There's already been like what was that movie that Al Gore did? A More Inconvenient Truth. That movie did right. So now it's just all the people coming to the conclusion, or some AI type thing that inevitably says that humans are the problem.
Right.
And that we are causing the extinction of these beautiful birds.
Okay.
And so it sends a signal to your phone, and then you explode.
Okay. All right. So it's all about there's some giant computer that's tracking your carbon emissions, every single person.
Ooh.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you hit that level where you are creating too much waste in the world, maybe it's not carbon, it's some sort of waste, you get blown up via your phone. But you can't leave your phone because it ties you to something that you have to have.
It's like the social score they're doing in China, but instead of the social, it'll be your pollution.
Eco score.
Ooh.
This is happening.
Man.
Okay.
This is the Kentucky Accords that we're making now. Forget Paris.
Okay. So why do you have to have your phone? You have to have the tracking device. There's got to be a reason that you have to have it so that you can't just like leave it at home and then go be, ecologically bad.
Okay. We cause another stock market / bank crisis.
Okay.
To where...
Wait, is this still the movie or is this like a plan?
This is the movie.
Okay.
Right?
All
we're
right,
around the boardroom, and we're answering this. This is happening during the pre-movie credits, just like in Die Hard, when there's key elements happening while people's names are on the screen.
I got you.
So we're on the boardroom, and you're asking me that question. And so to prove how powerful we are, we go, we'll just break the banks, and we'll break the dollar. So that instead of your wallet or your purse that is kept on you, no matter where you go, you just use your phone because it's already happening.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll just make it easier for people just to want to pay digitally.
Okay.
Or you don't need your ID or your driver's license. All that stuff is an app. It's so easy. Right. So let's incite a little bit of horror and then just entice people to do something that they're pretty much willing to do mostly already.
Right.
And I go, guys, we figured out a solution. The past is the past. The future is now. And they go, okie dokie.
And so that's in place for a few years.
We give people phones. Go, look, man, just have this phone.
Right. So that's in place. Everybody gets used to it. All the paper stuff goes away. So you're reliant on that.
And we pan to the one guy who's surrounded by all the blinky buttons in the room. And this is the computer. And it has a quirky name.
Okay.
It's Miles, the computer system.
Miles. Okay. Yeah. It's got to have like an eco-related name.
The Millennial Infiltrating Language Eco System
Nice.
Computer.
Now it's
Miles
Mileska.
C.
Mileska. Okay, so
This is getting good.
Yeah. So you've got the device. You have to have the device to kind of survive in the world.
Yep.
If your eco footprint is too big, you get exploded from your phone as a way to save the earth around us.
Specifically the birds.
The birds. We just don't care about the rest of the animals.
So while we're doing all this, and we're inevitably getting rich from our app,
right?
Because this is an 80s movie, and we've got our fancy suits with our shoulder pads, and we're just raking in dough.
Yeah.
And the whole time, there's a nerdy scientist who's like, but the birds. You guys are not understanding what you're doing to the birds. And then he and his group of eco-terrorists reprogram Mile C. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
Okay. So this isn't...
With a parrot on their shoulder.
Right. Okay. A robo-parrot.
Robo-parrot.
Obviously.
Why not? That has quippy one-liners and who is voiced by Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they while Bumbling Guy...
Okay.
Yeah, Bumbling Guy goes and gets something salty instead of something sugary at the vending machine. They reprogram him. And that's how it starts.
Okay.
We're raking in the dough, and we don't understand why all the people are blowing up and they're blaming us.
Okay. All right. So it turns out we figure out what's happening, and we're seeing like, oh, this is our fault. Like we were trying to do good.
What did we do?
What did we do? We have to stop this.
We
are
the problem.
So you start out the movie. We are making billions and billions of dollars on this app, right? And then we get a conscience about it, and we realize that we have to give it all away to save humanity. And we have to get rid of all of our stuff to break the system. We're going to lose
everything. That doesn't
everything.
sound good to one of us. This is an 80s movie.
But, I mean, like, we became the villains, right? Inadvertently.
Right.
So now we have to turn it around and become the heroes, which means you got to sacrifice some stuff.
But I think to have a proper story arc, one of them is drunk with power, while the other one is good.
Okay.
And then they go, Bob, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not on the board anymore. And then the henchmen grab you and pull you away from, and you're like, no, but the bird, the bird.
All right, I like it. So I get to be the good guy.
Yep.
Cool. Sweet.
And then I just like pound my fist on the table and go, this never happened. And then boom, opening title scene.
And then it shows, okay, so that's all pre-credits.
Dem Burdick.
People Demic.
Ooh, that's better.
People Demic. I like that.
There you go.
Phone Demic. That's it. Okay, so that's all pre-credits? That's a lot.
That's a long pre-credit scene.
So maybe the credits are like halfway through the movie.
Seeing how me and you were the only people in this movie, it's just our names a whole bunch of times. I get to be the key grip.
Written and directed by. Also produced by.
You could be the best boy.
All right, so we got to work on our sets here. So
I haven't touched these Legos.
So while we're the credits roll, or the titles roll, then it's me out in the wilderness because I've lost everything. I've been stripped of my fortune, right?
You can't show up yet. You have to be the sage one that people go to, and they figure it out. They're like, it was you. You were there. You knew all about the thing. So it's got to have some quirky or derpy guy, the girl, and then they kind of like, what's happening with all the birds?
They're young kids.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
They have a kid or a dog that can talk. I'm not sure yet.
No, it needs to be two teenage kids. Like that's.
And then they're trying to figure out. They're at summer camp.
Okay.
And they're trying science summer camp.
Right.
They're trying to figure out why all the birds are dead, and none of the counselors care. Like they're too consumed in their own drama. And
they're on their phones.
Ooh, even better.
They're like, whatever.
Face down on their phones. This is an analogy
Yep.
for technology-driven generation that we're in. And so they're like, but the birds are dying. And then they go, well, maybe we should go to NASA headquarters or something. And then they're like, get out of here, you kids. Everything is fine, see? And then they slam the door. And then eventually they find you, like, in a cabin in the woods.
So I'm all Luke Skywalkered up. Like,
with your scruffy beard. And then it opens the door. And then you've got the wall full of, like, pictures and the strings.
The crazy wall.
Crazy string connecting with all the push pins. And they're like, we knew it. It was the birds that were dying. And you're like, you've seen the birds? I'm like, yes, mister, we did see the birds. And then
you don't get to write the script, but
it's in rewrites.
Yeah.
And then the three of you the band of do-gooders
Okay.
try to go back to Miles C.
We have to find it.
Is that when you implant the explosion device?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
So we
you
have
become the eco-terrorist.
Wow.
So that's good because you were the hero. And in some circles, you can kind of maybe become the villain depending on... This is a really good movie.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're like on both sides of it at that point.
We're going to get Oscars for different things.
You're the enemy of the...
You can direct and I'll produce.
Okay. We can
You
get
be
all
the star and I'll
Oscars.
be the co-star?
I mean, you're the villain, so
I'll be supporting actor.
we're co-starring.
You're best actor, I'm best supporting actor. You win best director. It'll win best film, so I'll get that as the producer.
Yeah.
We'll get John Williams to do the score, and that's a shoe-in for an Oscar.
Dude, we're going to be rich.
We're going to need everyone listening to this podcast to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
That's right. Nobody can take this idea, as tempting as that would be.
Or you can become an extra for very, very little pay.
That sounds good. Okay, so how do I... So somehow there's me and the two kids find the secret lair.
Mm-hmm.
Who wrote Miles?
We did together when we were in college.
Oh, okay, so you hit it. So after you
it's
me out.
you kind of know where it is, but it's under lock and key.
Oh, okay, so then it turns into a heist movie.
Yep.
We got to sneak in.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll put the brain of Miles at the end of an obnoxiously long, like catwalk on top of the tallest radar tower on the planet,
Sweet.
like Rogue One.
Sounds
But
good.
we're not gonna say it's like Rogue One.
It's, yeah. Okay. And so somehow we get up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then to save everybody, what all has to be undone at that point? We gotta bust out the whole phone system where everybody's... That's pretty much it. If you kill Miles, then nobody can die. But also everybody's free from their phone addiction tie-in thing, right? The birds are still screwed, but... You know,
Are you intending to blow the people up, or was that an accident?
I didn't blow the people up.
Well, no. When you reprogram Miles...
No. That's a different group.
I thought that was your group.
No, I'm there to stop it all. So we created Miles.
Oh, you're there to save the day.
It turned into something we didn't think it was going to turn into.
Right.
The eco warriors came in and like, we're going to reprogram it to kill people.
Right.
And then we're like, oh no, this is wrong. And you're like, nope, we're going to make $1 billion. You're out, Bob. I'm out. So then I'm in the woods like, I don't know what to do.
Do I have to call you back and go, I need your help?
Ooh. Oh,
You're
okay.
the
That's
only
good.
one.
That's
Because
good.
you wrote it, but I capitalized on it.
Right.
Because
So-
I'm the business type, and I'm Steve Jobs, and you're Woz.
Okay.
And you're the only one that knows how to fix it. I can sell it, and I can get everybody to buy the billions of them.
Okay.
Raking in the dough, but you're the real brains behind it.
Okay. So I meet the kids. We go, we try to attack, the break in. We get to Miles.
Perfect.
We almost make it. It's like, this is the end of the movie. Wait. Miles has been moved. Not there. Not there at all. And so then we're like downtrodden. We go back to the cabin. We're hanging out. And then I get a call from you. I was wrong. We got to fix this.
For the birds.
My brother uses his phone too much. He drives a F-150 Raptor. His footprint is too big. He's going to die. I need your help.
Which means bird.
So we work together to find Miles because the eco-terrorists took over Miles.
He's gone mobile.
Yeah. Ooh, he's in the internet.
I was thinking he was in our hearts the whole time, but that'll work too.
Okay. So then we somehow track him down. It takes both of our skills and some annoying teenager kids.
To turn the key.
2 keys, right?
2 keys.
Okay.
That's baller.
Or 2 eye prints, like our eye retina scan
Well,
things.
then if there's a retina scanner in a movie, somebody's eyeball better get plucked out.
Well, that's true. Maybe we
I'm
should
scared
skip
of that.
Okay. 2 keys.
Keys are cool.
Turns out that there's 2 keys.
There are keys from our college dorm.
Ooh, okay. All right. So they look like they're regular keys, and we get in a bad situation, and we're like to the teenagers, we're like, take the 2 keys. There's 2 of you. Just go do it.
Do we get crushed by a girder or something, and we have to pass it
right
on to the next
so we
generation?
well, we do, but they go to a tournament, it doesn't work.
Ooh.
And then it turns out that our thumbprints are embedded in the keys, and we actually have to be turning the keys. We have to work together, regardless of our differences in the past.
We drag our body.
Our legs don't work, so we're dragging ourselves to it.
And then I'm like, I can't go on. And then you're like, well, you have to. And then you have to buddy drag me to the thing.
I have to cut your legs off
Oh.
so that you can drag yourself the rest of the way. No, we'll skip that part. That's in the director's cut. So,
Deleted scene.
so we get there, we turn the key, Miles putters out. No big explosions.
In a very
Just
underwhelming way. And
it
it's
just
just
goes,
like, what's the shutdown sound? Just a doo-doo-doo.
yeah, it just goes out. And then everybody's free.
Nobody's phones work anymore.
Right.
And they get mad. And then they look up at each other and they go,
I didn't know you were standing there.
hey.
We haven't talked
And
in
then
so long.
when they do that, and then they look up and they see the birds.
And it turns out
They're
that
so beautiful, the
there were
birds.
so many phones that the radio interference from the phones were actually stopping the birds from flying around. And now that it's all gone, the birds come out and they fly.
Beautiful
Beautiful
birds.
shots. The end.
Well done, sir.
All right. So
I was in
cool.
there.
That's good.
I was intrigued by what was going on.
I hope this recording works so we can go back and listen to our idea.
Word? I hope that there is someone on Christmas Day. I don't hope. If someone on Christmas Day is so bored and they have the magical animated skills to turn that into a movie,
That would be
I would
amazing.
pay them money for that.
Yep. That would be pretty incredible.
Wow.
I wouldn't expect that.
No.
But it would be pretty incredible.
All right. Who do we know in Hollywood?
Oh, I put it on too early.
Man.
Another piece.
Oh yeah, Legos.
Yeah, there's stuff here that we were starting to do. Hey, remember Ice Pirates?
We have to credit Ice Pirates in the
That's
credits,
true. Loosely inspired by the opposite of Ice Pirates.
which was Waterworld, which
Yeah.
turned into this, which had elements of Die Hard and Birdemic. And almost 127 hours there a minute. You want to do some pros and cons?
Sure, you got some?
Yeah. So our buddy Brent sent us a bunch of pros and cons.
Hey, Brent.
Thanks, buddy. We haven't done some of these in a little while, especially these random ones.
They're all pretty random.
Okay, the first.
I fixed this part, by the way.
Good job. I have opened
While
a bag.
we wrote a movie.
Yeah. You know. Ooh, this has pistons.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making an engine.
Have you ever had one of those? The tiny little engines?
No, my brother did back in the day, but I
had
didn't.
some car that had a little V6 in it, and they all move when you rotate the thing.
Nice. Okay. First, Speedos.
Con. Unless you are an Olympic swimmer or on your way to becoming an Olympic swimmer, there's no reason for it.
Have you ever worn Speedos?
No.
Neither have I. But when we were in Europe, if you go to like the city pool, you have to wear Speedos.
You have to?
Yeah, you're not allowed to wear board shorts.
Why?
There's a sign. When we lived in Belgium, they had a pool in town, and all the Americans freaked out because to go and swim in that pool, you had to be wearing a Speedo.
What was the reasoning?
I don't know. Because then all the uncomfortable Americans wouldn't swim in the pool.
Huh.
But I have no clue.
I bet it's
I don't know.
because the material of the it was the pockets of the board shorts.
I thought about that.
The
Like,
pockets would fill up with water, and then when you get out of the pool, you take too much water with you.
or if you had like trash or something,
Yeah,
potentially.
maybe. Could be.
I don't know. I never
Oops, I
went.
left my hot dog in my pocket of my shorts. That sounded bad. You know what I'm saying? I left my candy bar in the pocket of my shorts, and now it's melted in the pool.
This is where I keep my bottles of acid in my board short pocket, my one pocket.
Yeah, I don't see any reason for those.
I mean,
at all. But that's just me.
I used to swim a lot, and I could never. I don't know. I just never did. I wouldn't want to subject other people in the world to looking at me in a Speedo. You're welcome, world.
Yeah.
All right.
On behalf of the world, thank you.
Yeah. It says box of the month subs.
Oh, like subscription boxes for the. I mean, so probably like meat boxes and wine boxes.
Well, that's
that
what I'm
type of
wondering,
thing.
because a lot of them, like the Kiwi crates and things like that, are, whatever, monthly, periodic. But yeah, let's go with that. Like the Jelly of the Month Club.
I mean, I think it's kind of fun, especially if you're into something. Like I know David Picciuto was really into coffee, and they used to get like a monthly coffee subscription, and it was a different type. And if you're really into coffee, you can tell the difference between Ethiopian and Eastern Ethiopian and whatever. I don't know. So if you're into it, then getting a bunch of those like kind of unique variations would be kind of cool.
I think it's an idiot. It would introduce you to things that you might not be
Right. You may not run into
have
otherwise.
access to. Sure, go for it.
I think they're good. I think giving those as gifts, unless you know that somebody's really into that, that's kind of weird. Like, I personally would not want to have a new jelly show up.
The jelly of the month.
Excuse me, every month.
I'm a preserves guy anyway. I'd be upset if jelly came to my house.
Yeah, that might be kind of weird. But, if you know that somebody's into coffee or whatever, sure.
What of the month subscription service could somebody get you that you would be excited about?
A Lego set of the month.
Right?
That would be amazing.
That would be great.
I don't know. Like, there's some collectible. I don't know the name of them, but there's some boxes that are like collectibles, and you can go on and check. I'm into Star Wars and into whatever comic books, and then they send you exclusive kind of collectible stuff around those subjects. That'd be kind of cool, but the only downside of that is you would end up with a whole bunch of things that are kind of display worthy, and you'd have to have a spot to display them.
There's some of them that are geared toward adults that have like nerdy shirts and stickers and things like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, that'd be kind of cool, but probably not for a real long time. What about you?
I like to cook, and when we had the video sponsored by, who was that? That sends the food.
Blue Apron?
Blue Apron. I thought those were cool. That's kind of like an of the month, but it's of the week.
Yeah.
So maybe not having something that's designed to actually sustain my family, like having something that is a little more special, like. Because the food was good.
Like a dessert of the month or something like that?
Yeah, or like some kind of cooking thing that I could make of the month with. So I guess I'm talking about Blue Apron or HelloFresh just on a spaced out time frame.
Right.
Something like that I think is neat because it's something I enjoy doing, and I probably wouldn't have access or know about a lot of those ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Something like that.
Cool.
Snickers.
What?
Snickers, like the candy bar.
Pro.
Right?
They're good.
Who doesn't like Snickers?
Seriously, why would that be? How could that be a con?
Snickers in the freezer?
I'm not sure about that. Just because I think they're a lot harder to eat.
They are. The Snickers minis, like around Halloween, the kids aren't really fond of Snickers or they don't know the glories of a Snicker.
Yeah, I think they're too
So
young.
I get to have those. And so I put the little ones in the freezer. And it's a lot easier to eat.
Interesting.
Yep.
It's easier to eat?
Yeah. Because if you get a full-size one, it's like gnawing on concrete.
Yeah.
But the smaller one kind of breaks into chunks. I don't know.
But you like it cold more than... Huh.
It's delightful.
Have you ever had frozen grapes?
No.
Take a handful of grapes, and they have to be dry, otherwise they'll freeze together. So you can't just like rinse them off and throw them in there. But just put a few of them in the freezer, and they're like super cold candy. Because the inside's basically water, so they crunch like a almost like a not ice cream, but
Yeah.
I don't know,
Like a popsicle consistency.
Yeah, kind of. They're good. And then depending on which grape you get a different flavor. Like, I love red grapes. They're like the sweetest. It's my favorite kind. But in the freezer, green grapes, the ones that are a little bit sour, those are pretty good. It's like actual candy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's this say? It says Caddyshack.
As far as I can remember, pro. But I honestly don't remember a whole lot of it. It's been 20 years since I've seen Caddyshack.
Yep. I think Caddyshack is one of those movies that people absolutely love, and for its time was one of those like really quotable kind of one-liner movies that I used to watch on Comedy Central because it was kind of before my time, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was all that great.
It goes back to the same thing that we've actually talked about before, where something hits you where you are and you equate it with that time in your life, and so all sorts of movies, comedy and otherwise, are all like that, where it either hits you or it doesn't hit you based on who how old you are, what you're into at the time.
Right.
And that's just one of those, that whole range of movies in the 80s, like that and Fletch. Like, Fletch is not funny to me. People love Fletch. It's just not that type of comedy. It doesn't do anything for me, you know? Excuse me.
I made an Uncle Buck reference earlier. How was Uncle Buck on that scale for you? Because it was on...
Honestly, don't remember
Okay.
anything about it.
Like
I remember
John
John
Candy?
Candy, but that's it. And I've seen it, but it just
Remember, that was a later 80s, not so really early, late 70s.
A lot of those, they didn't do anything for me at the time because I was pretty young, and then I didn't ever go back and watch them again because they didn't do anything for me. So it's been so long that I don't really have a point of reference for them. But at the same time, like something like Tron, which made a huge impact on me, doesn't make an impact on other people for the exact same reason,
But maybe when you saw Tron as a kid, the story might not have been so enthralling. Maybe visually it kind of kept your attention.
I think for that one, for me, it was both.
Okay.
But, a lot of other people saw it at the same time and didn't like it. So they're wrong, it's cool. I'm just kidding.
Witches.
It depends on, I don't know.
I guess maybe because I made the stance about pirates, about how I think pirates as a thing, like just like in general, pirates are stupid or pirates are unnecessary. Like, I don't see witches and pirates in the same thing, in the same vein, because pirates were actually like thieves and rapists and murderers, and they're glorified, and witches are just like a figment. It's a fairy tale kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say con if I had a choice, I guess, but I'm kind of indifferent about that.
Have you seen the movie Witches?
No.
Ooh, that scared the mess of me when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't it kind of like a comedic?
No, that's Hocus Pocus.
Oh, okay.
That's different.
That's what I was thinking of.
No, Witches is a movie obviously about witches. And they like turn the kids into like mice or rats or something. And I remember seeing it when I was a little kid, and I used to go to this like after school program, and they showed it there.
That's smart.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking, but not a fan of the movie Witches. Like witches on around Halloween, like I don't care. I'm indifferent. But that movie, I don't want to watch that. It had a baby that was being pushed off a cliff.
What?
In a bassinet, or in a stroller kind of bassinet thingy, like it was back in the day, and it was just like shooting toward the cliff. And I had this aversion to anytime somebody was mean to a baby in a movie. I hated it.
I remember you talking about that.
I didn't. That's why Labyrinth, the movie Labyrinth was okay, but you're going to throw that baby up that high and be mean to the baby? Stop it, David Bowie. Yeah. Or Ghostbusters 2. Willow. Witches. And that's why I didn't like that movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sloppy Joes.
Ooh, I like me some Sloppy Joes.
Right?
Yeah. We actually, you were talking about HelloFresh or Blue Apron earlier. We had a Sloppy Joe recipe in one of those. Like Jenny had never made Sloppy Joes for us because I thought of it as like just kind of junky. It's like you take the worst meat that you can find and then you put sauce on it to make it taste good.
Yesterday's meatloaf is today's Sloppy Joe.
So that's kind of what we always thought about it, I guess. But she got this awesome recipe from whatever service that was that we used. And now we have Sloppy Joes every couple of months.
That's cool.
And they're really good. It had a slaw recipe with it that was really good and unexpected as well.
I convinced Tiff to make meatloaf.
You convinced her?
Yeah, she hates it.
Oh, really?
She had it growing up, and she despises it.
Huh.
But I found a recipe on, maybe it was Bon Appetit, and it's like a meatball kind of thing. And I think we're having it tonight. We may have it soon-ish. But she's not excited about it. She's going to give it a chance.
So, okay. She hasn't tasted it before. I see.
So if the meatball thing is a bust, then we're having some Sloppy Joes.
There you go.
Was Manwich your Sloppy Joe of choice, or did you have a special
I think
recipe?
That's probably, if I had it growing up, it was probably Manwich. Or at school, and at that point it's like last month's barbecue sauce. Or
Put it in the chili bucket.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any idea. We didn't have it often growing up, so I don't really know. I didn't have something to compare it to a whole lot. Let's talk about chili for a minute.
Okay.
Because I think we're having chili for dinner tonight. And have we already talked about the spaghetti and the chili? Did we talk about that?
I don't think we've talked about it on the show.
Okay, so when I was growing up, and it's a regional thing, which I don't think is typically for this region of the U.S., but
it's Midwest, like Ohio, Michigan-ish.
Yeah, I think it's a little further north typically. But my mom always put spaghetti noodles in chili, and I loved it. And that was chili to me. The way she had, I don't know what she seasoned. It wasn't anything complicated. It wasn't, it had a lot of tomato in it and stuff. But that was chili. And then Jenny does not like to make it with noodles. And she'll do it for me on occasion, but I got a text from her while we were recording saying, I don't have any spaghetti noodles. And I was like, oh, that's the one thing I asked for. But anyway, have you ever had it with noodles in it?
I had it at your mom's house.
Oh. See, she made it for you.
She made it in a big pot.
It's
and
good.
then I came home and it was, when I lived with your mom for that time, I lived with your mom and dad while Tiff was selling the RV. Yeah, she had made it one night, and I was confused.
Did you make 2 foods?
Yeah, and I get where Jenny's coming from because, I mean, we're both from Florida, and that is a Midwestern kind of thing.
Yeah. But what did you think of it after you had it? Not your thing?
It didn't add anything to it. It seemed unnecessary. Like it didn't really add much flavor.
Yeah, it didn't add any flavor to it. It's more just I think it's like a thickness because
It could be.
because
It's like a chili. Maybe if it was elbow macaroni and not spaghetti,
you could see that.
which taste-wise should make absolutely no difference. Like that's chili mac, which is a thing. And then just putting
Chili mac?
Yeah, you're right, chili. Well, I guess you're too busy with your spaghetti noodles. But if you put elbow macaroni in it, it becomes chili mac. But you put spaghetti in your chili, then it's chiligetti.
Spaghetti.
Spig chili. Spaghetti, yeah.
Oh, this is the ejector seat. I was trying to figure out why this thing is. That's
cool.
Wow. Okay. Huh. Well, yeah, I think it's a thickness thing because like a lot of the chili that Jenny makes is very. It's not soupy,
Like a soup?
but it's wetter. Mm-hmm. Whereas the chili that my mom made growing up was like is more pasty, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that without it sounding super disgusting, but
It's not like a casserole consistency.
no, it's more like
It's thicker.
yeah, it's just thicker.
What about Frito Bake? Did you put Fritos in it? Or did you have no time to put Fritos because all the spaghetti noodles were in
Yeah,
there?
we didn't put Fritos in it growing up, but I have since then, and it's good.
I don't want to eat chili if there's no Fritos around.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They go together.
So we had this thing. We would always have saltine crackers on the table when we had chili growing up.
Yep, that's the thing.
And it was like a running joke in our house. My mom was always like, don't crush the crackers into the chili. And my mom was never like big on like manners. I mean, like we were well mannered, but she wasn't a stickler for stuff like that. She was just like, be polite, But she was always like, make a big deal about us crushing our crackers in the soup or in the chili. Like she would say, stick them in there, cover them with chili, and then break them up with your spoon. And it was
Just not doing it like in your hand?
in your hands. It was like you need to learn how to eat in front of people so that you're not the disgusting kid, that my kids are to everybody else. And so as soon as she would like get up to get something or turn around or like sneeze, everybody would grab crackers, all 4 of my dad included. All 4 of us would grab our crackers and just crunch them in our hand, dump them in. And she would always like just roll her eyes like, I told you. And it just became this running joke. And so not too long ago, my parents were over here eating chili. And I was like, hey kids, check this out. Let me tell you a story. I'm an adult. She can't do anything to me now, so
I
she just laughed.
family member tell me I was eating biscuits and gravy wrong when I was a kid.
What?
That you didn't rip it up like that and then put it down and then put the gravy over top, rather than just putting 2 biscuits or put a biscuit on a plate, pour gravy over top of it, like it's some type of savory cinnamon roll. And I did it like that, and she was like, "No, that is not how you do it." And she's like, "You pick up the biscuit, you open it up, you rip it into chunks, put it down in salad, chunk form,
Bread
and
salad.
then you pour the gravy over top of that." And she was very adamant, and I could not understand why. I don't get it. And to this day, like, I'm completely indifferent. Like, but I've heard that from people.
That's
like,
weird.
Yeah, I
I've
think
never
so
heard that.
too.
I am also not really big on biscuits and gravy.
Really?
I like biscuits. Like that kind of. I like gravy, like turkey mashed potato type gravy, brown gravy. Is that what that is?
This was a pro and con that I wrote down a while ago. about gravy in general. So
Okay.
let's dive into gravy.
There's a title.
Yep.
Let's dive into gravy. Although the phone-demic is a pretty good one too. Anyway, I like brown gravy, I guess, over mashed potatoes and stuff. But like the gray gravy, is that what it's called?
Gray?
Well, what?
Ew.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like biscuit
Sausage gravy?
Sausage gravy.
Okay.
It's gray though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Ew.
It's
It's
gray.
white.
No, it's not white.
It's white with pepper in it. It's black and white gravy. If you're having gray gravy, this is probably why you don't like it.
Maybe.
Ew.
I'm pretty sure it's gray. I've never seen like white gravy.
It's like, well, it's flour based. So you cook sausage in a pan, and it's basically like a light roux. So you cook sausage in a
I
pan.
don't know what that is.
Okay.
It's a street in French.
Oui. You cook sausage. You
Okay.
take the sausage out. All the fond, all the little sticky, burnt on bits in the bottom of the pan with the grease.
Yeah.
You lightly dust some flour over that. The flour and the grease and the fat all come together and make a roux, like what you would make jambalaya with.
So that right there, just pause. That sounds completely disgusting, and that's why I
When
don't
you
like
say
gravy.
the words, yes, but when you put it on your tongue, it's different. And then you slowly add milk and pepper, and that's why it's white. And again,
It's not white.
if it's gray,
Maybe it's off-white. It's not white.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
But gray is not off-white.
Actually, it kind of is.
Ew. When you're in tucking and cooking terms, gray is not a shade that you should be imbibing, sir.
I agree. That's why I don't like it. I mean, that's not why, but that is one
Jenny
of
and
them.
I gotta have a talk about making gray gravy.
But she doesn't make that kind. That's the thing.
That's good. No one should.
She makes brown gravy, which I like.
I don't really like other kind of gravy. Like if I have mashed potatoes, I don't want to put gravy on it.
I don't always. Like, it's not like I'm not going to eat this without gravy, but if it's around, it kind of adds a little thing to it. But I really like mashed potatoes with a lot of butter. I don't like butter, typically. Like, I don't ever put butter on anything. But, you know, something like when you make biscuits, putting butter into the biscuit mix or into the mashed potatoes.
You put butter on a biscuit?
Nope. Never
Gravy?
have.
What?
No, that's like a waste of stuff. It's like,
Man.
I want to just eat the biscuit. I don't care about wiping gross butter. Ugh. Melted butter is good.
What's the difference?
It's like the cold pastiness of it. It just doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't have any flavor. It has, for me, it has flavor once it's melted. So
Okay.
it's kind of like, what's the point of wiping this like yellowish white paste
Fat.
that doesn't really? Yeah, it
Milk
just
fat.
it doesn't have a flavor.
An unbuttered biscuit. That's like,
You sound like Tavin.
yeah. Yeah, that's like eating modeling clay.
What? No, it's
That
not.
sounds extremely not even. I'm thirsty now just talking about eating a butter without biscuit or a biscuit without butter on it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that makes me thirsty.
Oh.
That's like you're trying to like when we were doing grout upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you put a little bit of water in the grout. That is what an unbuttered biscuit is to me. You're choking down.
I just.
Oh, man.
But see, the butter would be like, it wouldn't help that.
Butter and honey.
Honey, I'm with you on honey. Honey on a biscuit, fantastic. Yeah. But butter just never does anything. I mean, I'm not one to like really season stuff anyway. Like I never put salt or pepper or butter or.
Well, Jenny's doing it right.
I never have my entire life. It's just like it's extra effort that's not really going to make that much of a difference. So just eat the food. Like I'm maybe a little too practical when it comes to that. But
There's a restaurant in Paris that I went to because they had the world's best mashed potatoes and gravy, or mashed potatoes. They didn't have gravy on it, and it was a 1-to-2 ratio of potato to butter.
oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
it was like, "Is there the best in the whole world?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." I mean, come on.
It's the world's
not that
best
hard.
butter with mashed potato sprinkles.
Right. So when you come over for Christmas Eve dinner,
Mm-hmm.
there will probably, maybe, not, I don't even know who's bringing, if anybody, making mashed potatoes. But I'm not going to eat gravy. And I probably would forget to put it out if not for other people. If they go to a restaurant and they're like, oh, do you want gravy? No, I don't want gravy. That sounds gross.
It sounds gross.
It's because I think it's like the Kool-Aid of food. It's not like unless you make gravy like I was talking about, like you cook some meat and you cook some whatever, like that brown stuff just seems like liquid plastic. I know that they're not cooking if that's beef gravy or whatever. Like they're not actually making gravy. So that seems, and it's in the little packet, and the little packet thing seems unappetizing, and so that seems like savory, thick Kool-Aid.
That's super disgusting.
Yeah. Or like chocolate pudding that's really runny. Savory beef pudding.
Oh, gross.
Runny beef pudding.
That's very, very disgusting.
Yucky. Okay. Green ketchup.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That was a thing for a little while. It was a fad. That
Is it just from green tomatoes?
No, Heinz came out with it. They had a line of like purple and green ketchup. Those two colors I remember. They may have been more.
What? So it was just the color.
Just a gimmick.
Oh well.
No other reasoning.
That seems like a really poorly thought out marketing thing. I know what'll get them, Larry.
Yep.
They're probably bored with the color of ketchup. That's why they're not eating it anymore.
Ketchup sales are down. What should we do? I don't know. Turn it a color?
I don't know. What's one of the grossest colors that we can make food? Well,
you know they made a brown one.
Oh,
and they're like, that looks too gross like brown gravy. Like, you're right, Dave.
Gray ketchup. That's where we're going. Gray ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say con on that one.
Stop. Regular names for pets, like people names.
Oh, I think that's awesome.
Really?
Pro. Yeah.
Awesome? Well, you're emphatic about it. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think people try too hard to, and I mean, us included, like, to come up with clever, or like, I'm going to name my dog Banana Man because I can't name a kid that, so I'm going to name my dog that. But it's so cool when you meet a cat or a dog that's named like Steve. It's just fantastic. It's just.
What about the cats that have like knightlyhood? They're like, this is Sir something something something.
There's one that's there's a cat online. I don't know if it's still alive or not, but it's super ugly, like squished face, gross, and its name was Princess Monster Truck.
Princess what?
Monster Truck. And the kids always laugh about it. They're like, "Oh yeah, you look like Princess Monster Truck." No, I think that's great. Do you have an opinion on
I honestly don't care one way or the other. I wonder why people are still naming their people names.
Their people names?
Like if you have a baby and you're like, oh, this baby's name is Tom or Jack. I'm like, yeah, that's neat. Why not go the other way?
Spot.
Yeah. There was a guy.
I mean, we kind of did that, and people laughed at us for some of our kids'
they're
names.
Neat names.
Yeah, I like them.
They're clever. But if you name him like, this is Cricket. This is my son.
Actually, I know somebody named Cricket.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a cool name. I just thought that.
So
that would be neat.
there's 4 kids in the family. Elijah, Cricket, Sparrow, and Juniper. And we were going to use Juniper, and she was born maybe 6 months before our daughter, and so we couldn't use it. They're close friends, so I mean we could have, but
all of my animals have had. I mean, I've had 3 dogs, and they've all had people names that I chose.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, what is a dog name though?
Yeah, I
That's
think
hard.
Yeah, Bark,
Brownie,
Harry,
P.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, like, so we had Hammer. We had a dog named Hammer, but it actually wasn't named after a hammer.
Named MC Hammer?
No, it's so his dad's name. Our friend Tiffany had the mother. Mm-hmm. The mother got pregnant from a local dog named Hammer, which is this giant lab, a real big, cool lab. And he was a chocolate lab. And so when the litter came out, they were a mix of chocolate, black, and blonde labs. Mix, not pure labs. So we got the 2 that were the blonde. Sydney, who we still have, and Hammer. And when he was born, he was so light that he looked like a hamster. Because he didn't have, like, dark hair, so he kind of looked bald. Yeah. He was all wet and gross. And so our friend Tiffany started calling him Hamster. And then I didn't want to call a dog Hamster. But since the dad was named Hammer, it just kind of, like, turned into that.
That works.
But it was kind of weird that I would name a dog Hammer and it not actually be after a hammer.
True.
But
you can name a hammer And I go, but not that kind of hammer.
Not that hammer. You have to say that every
That's on
single
his
time.
collar.
But she would still does name her pets all sorts of crazy names. She had a cat with 3 legs.
Yeah.
And its name was Yard Kitty.
Yard Kitty?
Yard Kitty, because it was 3 feet in a yard. So it was...
That's super
I know.
clever.
It took me a while,
Oh,
too.
that's so good. And I met Tiffany, right?
Yeah, I think
She's
so.
clever.
She is clever.
We can be friends.
Yeah.
That's good.
She's had a bunch of crazy names for pets.
All right, what else?
All right, we're at like 56 minutes in. Let's do
Okay.
one more.
Adult coloring books.
I mean, I don't have a strong opinion, but I'm a little torn because at first I'm like, well, that seems kind of dumb. But at the same time, like, we're sitting here building Legos because it's fun to have something physical to do with your hands. And, like, if somebody wants to color and enjoy the coloring process, sure. Nothing wrong with it.
I feel like I would get frustrated with it.
Why?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Because Tiff likes to color, so she colors with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. This is the first time I've actually sat and thought about coloring. Not much of my day thinks about coloring.
I heard you talking about it before. Don't act like that.
But yeah, I get really impatient. And I think coloring to me it takes too long. And it's inconsistent. I do not like to color with crayons. So if I was coloring one of those books...
Because of the inconsistency?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And because they don't stay sharp. Like you can sharpen a crayon if you get the Mega Ultra Pack.
I don't know. Depending, if you use it right, you sharpen it as you use it. Just want to throw that out there.
Sure.
You do. You can.
Well, I don't like crayons. So if I was going to color in any kind of coloring book... that's wrong. It would have to be color pencils. But those, I've seen them because Tiffany's grandmother started to get some, I guess, to kind of keep her mind and stuff going. Mm-hmm. And they're beautiful looking. I mean, they have the potential, I guess, to be beautiful because it's just a bunch of line art. But, like, man,
but they're not
like
simple
it
drawings.
takes a long time.
Well, it's kind of like how much you want to put into it, like how detailed that you want the color variation and stuff to be. I could see that.
Yeah. It seems like I don't have the patience for that.
I think the thing that I would have a problem with, like, it'd be fun for a few minutes, but then I would want to, like, well, I should just draw something. Like, I'm just using lines that are already there. Like, I should make my own thing and then color that. That'd be kind of cool.
There's a whole group of people on Instagram that take, like, kids' coloring books and they put the colors in, like, adult situations. They'll draw extra little pieces to them and just put them in, like, you know, not dirty or gross, but just, like, situations that they may never find themselves in. Like, there's Ariel as, like, a superhero.
Huh.
Yeah.
They add stuff.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have the patience for that. And I guess it goes back to that, like, does this have an end? Like, I'm not going to hang this up on the refrigerator.
You could.
I suppose.
I mean, we can make a wall spot down here for you to hang your pictures up if that'll give you something to work
I think
towards.
even with that really enticing incentive.
Well, the offer stands.
Okay. That'll be our next week's video.
Okay.
When we're scraping the barrel for content. We're going to make a board to display Josh's crayon drawings. Yeah, I don't think I had the patience for adult coloring books. I think they're neat. That's neat. Hooray. I'll give them as gifts, but I would not be excited to get one of those. I would re-gift it to someone who is in need of a coloring book.
Gotcha.
I did the puzzles and the little anagrams and those kind of things in the coloring books. The stuff in between coloring the pictures, I did those things.
Gotcha. So. I had a bunch of those little books. I still have the Voltron. I showed you that Voltron book I have. It's like I mean, you can color it, but it's all puzzles and stuff. And I had Transformer ones. I love those things. And we would always get the, like when we would drive on trips, we would stop at rest stops and like maybe Cracker Barrel on occasion. And they would get the little books with the invisible ink. Did you ever get those?
Mm-hmm. The one that had that one kind of marker.
Yeah, it was a weird like yellow-green marker or something. Yeah, we would do those a lot. I guess just on trips. But. All right, you want to do one more?
Ooh,
we're over an hour. It's the Christmas special, I guess.
What's one more?
He sent me some too, so.
We'll go for it. Pick one.
Pet clothing.
Oh. I'm not going to complain about people who put clothes on their pets because this is, again, one kind of like the lizard. Like, I just don't know enough about a pet, but it's covered in hair. And so we have,
Yeah.
I've had a gigantic boxer who was like an 80-pound boxer, and now I have like a 10-pound, probably more than that, beagle. And so when he goes outside, and it's cold here, he comes back in and he's shivering. I'm like, man, you're a dog. I'm like, but you're a tiny dog.
Well, but
You're not covered in fat. You're
just
not like a moose or some type of elk, so I'm pretty sure you are cold. But how would you have survived without Target having some cute dog shirt?
Man, domesticated dogs are far past that. They can't.
So then is it a necessity or is it vanity? I'm confused.
It's vanity. I mean, we it's not vanity. It's
Is
just
the type of shirt vanity or is it the fact that your dog needs to have clothes on?
the type of shirt. Yeah. I mean, belly shirts on a dog, that's ridiculous. A cardigan for a dog, that's ridiculous.
A hoodie seems unnecessary. It would just cover its face.
Maybe. I mean, their ears. You know, the further out in your body you go, the harder time you have, like, keeping heat.
Mm-hmm.
And if the dog has long ears, to flop out and they're real thin, they probably lose a lot of heat. Hoodie kind of makes sense.
I've seen the little dog shoes to like cover their paws when the concrete is hot.
That's so, I mean, okay.
Well, I get that because I don't want to walk on the hot,
No,
and that
yeah,
stuff is like
but-
crazy hot. Or if you're doing a lot of trail running, or it's the same thing if they're in the snow. Like for people who have hunting dogs, it looks silly, but a part of me is like maybe that's functional and not just like aesthetic and silly.
Maybe.
So I'm confused by it.
Yeah. I don't have enough experience.
We need to get a veterinarian on this show to give us an expert opinion on dogs.
Totally. That seems worthwhile.
Yep.
I missed a step, and now it's too far gone.
Oh man.
Uh-oh. I've messed up. Wait. It might be all right. All right. You got anything else?
Nope. I think we're good. I'm definitely not going to finish this today.
Oh, yeah. Me neither.
Yeah.
Although, my bags, number 1, are getting low.
How many bag number 2s do you have?
3.
Of course. Why not?
All right. Well, everybody, have a great Christmas.
Yeah.
And we will see you sometime in the new year. Sometime?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Have a good Christmas.
That's you too, buddy.
Thanks. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.